In today's video, I'm going to be giving you the biggest dropshipping guru secrets, things that the dropshipping gurus and the leaders will never tell you, but this information will really benefit you in terms of how much money you can potentially make and how you can streamline your business so much more effectively and so much more profitably. So if you're interested in learning the biggest secrets and the things that these gurus and leaders will not teach you, but could potentially make you so much more money and make your business so much more successful, then you're going to want to watch this video till the end. It's not going to take up too much of your time today, guys. Some of the stuff that I'm going to be giving you, trust me, the leaders and the gurus do it, but they will probably never share this information with you. So you do want to watch this till the end. Now, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody that's been supporting the channel, helping me grow. We've almost at 6K basically. So I'm just mind blown at how quick we're growing. So I just want to say to everybody that's been supporting me, really do appreciate the support and the love. And now let's get straight into the amazing content that I'm going to be sharing today. So the first thing that gurus and leaders won't tell you but could possibly potentially increase your business profits and growth is this. So using WooCommerce when scaling, as it's a lot cheaper. Now the reason why WooCommerce is a lot cheaper when you scale a store is this main reason right here. Now you get a non-transaction fee when using WooCommerce, so there's no transaction fees. But with Shopify, you will get a transaction fee. Now, I've been teaching clients, I've been teaching students that have done millions in revenue and they've been using Shopify and they've lost hundreds of thousands of revenue due to these transaction fees. Now, if they were to use WooCommerce as I recommended to them once I started teaching them, or after I started teaching them, then they would have saved themselves hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, guys, that will eat into your profit margins and your net profit. So this is why it's so important when you do scale and you're starting to do around about 10K every week, you are going to want to transition into WooCommerce. Yes, WooCommerce is a lot different to Shopify. You have to have your own servers. You have to control basically everything yourself. Normally Shopify does everything for you. You just have to edit the website. But with WooCommerce, yes, a lot of the things are very much harder to do because it's literally like a blank canvas. You have to control everything. But like I said, there's so much more pros with WooCommerce. So let me tell you a few more pros, not just that you get a non-transaction fee, but you can also do as much customization as you would like. So for example, with Shopify, you can't really do much to the checkout page. Now there are a few checkout hacks where you can make the checkout page look a little bit different, make it convert a little bit better, make it look a little bit more converting, but it doesn't guarantee anything because at the end of the day, it is against the Shopify rules. So you can get the checkout hack taken away from your store. But with WooCommerce, you can customize your checkout page as much as you would like. So you can literally make it you can make it look like a ClickFunnels sales page if that's something that you want to do. You can literally add whatever you want to the checkout page. Obviously, you need to hire a web developer, but you can make the checkout page as spammy as you want, as converting as you want, timers, checkouts, whatever you want on there, you can have it on there. Now, once you're driving thousands and thousands of visitors a day, I'm on about 20,000 visitors a day, having the custom checkout page is going to make a massive conversion difference, I promise you. So that is another reason why gurus won't tell you this. Use WooCommerce instead, especially when you're scaling. One, no transaction fees, save you thousands, 20,000, 30,000, hundred thousands of dollars. The second point is you're going to get a better conversion rate because you can customize the checkout page. And the next thing is it's more sustainable because you're hosting your own servers with WooCommerce. Basically what it means is, you know, with Shopify, sometimes Shopify might go down for a day or two every month or every few months. It's kind of hard to predict when this is going to happen, but at the moment Shopify keeps going down quite often. With WooCommerce, because you're getting your own server and paying for your own server, if you invest in a very good server, the consistency of your website is going to be a lot better. And when you scale and you're running campaigns, if you have a day where your shop just goes down, it will ruin your campaigns. And as we all know, with Facebook, the smallest things can ruin your campaign, and having your website not active can ruin them. Another thing before I move on to the next point is SEO, search engine optimization. Now, if you're doing a niche store, this is huge. SEO is so much better on WooCommerce than it is on Shopify. So just is going to increase your revenue and your traffic. The next thing is, the next point that I want to make in terms of what gurus will not tell you and what leaders won't tell you but can make you so much more money, is selling your dropshipping store after scaling is where you make the most money. So where you make the most money, like probably 6 times out of 10, 7 times out of 10, isn't running the ads for the store, is actually selling the store whilst the store's at its peak. So once you find out the store's at its peak, that's when you want to sell it. You don't want to hang on it for too long. As soon as you start seeing the store peak and you can then slowly start to see it peak down again, that's when you want to sell the store, because that is where a lot of dropshippers, a lot of e-commerce store owners will make their profit and make the majority of their money. It's not normally when they run the ads. Yes, you can make good money running the ads, but a lot of them make the majority of their money when they sell the store on things like Shopify Exchange. And I'm going to go over all the best platforms you can use to style your store. Now, before I move on to selling your store, let me talk about a few requirements. So when you sell your store, you need to show your revenue, your profit, and your conversion rate. That will all predict how much you can style your store for. Now, do not sell your store if you're only getting $100 a day in revenue. You need to be doing like 30, 40, 50k. I would say minimum 50k a month to really sell your store. You need at least 20% profit margin as well. So if you haven't got a 20% profit margin, if you haven't got a 50k in revenue a month, if your conversion rate isn't at least 2 or 3%, there's no point selling your store. But if you have those and you meet those requirements, selling your store can be one of the most profitable things you do in dropshipping. Now, let me talk about the best places you can sell these dropshipping stores or your e-commerce stores. Number 1, Shopify Exchange is probably one of the bigger ones. Number 2, Flipper. Number 3, Empire Flippers. Number 4, Side Projects. Number 4, FE International. Number 5, Cedo. Number 6, BizBroker24, number 7, freemarket.com, number 8, We Sell Your Site, and number 9, websitebroker.com. Now, that's the list of the ones that I would recommend. Now, don't worry, guys, I'm going to leave this Google Doc sheet that I'm reading off right here in the description below so you guys can access this. I'm just reading it off the iPad as we talk. Now, the next thing that I want to do is, and get onto the last point of today's video that dropshippers and gurus will not teach you, is don't get trapped in the dropshipping business model. Now, what I mean by that is, because dropshipping happens in different ways, don't get trapped into, okay, sell a trendy product, then move on to the next trendy product, then move on to the next trendy product, then move on to the next trendy product. That is the worst thing you do. Do not get trapped into that business model. That is the bad business model of dropshipping, and that will leave you in ways where you're not making money, ways where you're going to be struggling, ways that you can't build something that's long-term and profitable for long-term time. Now, the key in business is not to make money for a certain amount of time. It's about making profits for long periods of times and then selling the company once it's got a lot. So for example, Gymshark, and I'll get onto this once I get onto this point right now. So don't get trapped into the system. Yes, selling trendy products now and again, or maybe 3 times in a row, is great to build something called cash flow, because cash flow is what you need to build a long-term sustainable e-commerce brand, whether it's using the dropshipping business model like Gymshark did at the start, which I'll get onto in a minute. But what I really got to say to you guys is, please don't get trapped into doing loads of trendy stores, loads of trendy products, because trust me, it's not worth it in the long term. And like I said, it's great to build your profit margins, and sorry, not your profit margin, but your cash flow. But in terms of long-term longevity, it's just not there. So once you do your dropshipping stores, and you're selling these trendy products. Now, let me give you a real life scenario with me. So I like to do one product stores. Now, I do it all the time, and I'll sell a trendy product or a potential trendy product on there. I'll make around about 25, 50 to 100k in profit, in cash flow, and I'll reinvest that money, and so will all the students and clients. They'll reinvest that money into like a long-term e-commerce brand, for example. So let's say they want to get into the pet niche, so they'll actually get a branded product niche store, and they'll do it that way. So that's what I recommend you do, guys, when it comes to reinvesting the money from your dropshipping trendy store where you're selling trendy products. Reinvest that into a niche store selling long-term products for years to come, because that way you're not building something up and then going to sell it, because a lot of these trendy stores, they only last maybe 4 to 5 months. What you're going to want to do is, with the trendy stores and the trendy products, they only really last like 1 to 4 months. Maybe you can push it to like 12 months, but it's just not realistically you can do that. And at the end of the day, building the long-term brand means you don't need to worry about, okay, when's this product going to die? It's going to die tomorrow. You can actually sell something without having to worry about it dying all the time. So that's the reason why I recommend it. And also, you're building towards something with a branded store. You can actually say, you know what, when I sell this store, I'm going to be able to sell it for a good amount of money. So for example, Gymshark's my best example. They followed this business model that I'm just telling you about now. They started a dropshipping store. They started selling their dropshipping gym t-shirts using the business model of dropshipping, and then once they made enough cash flow, they reinvested that into fulfillment centers. They moved slowly away from the dropshipping business model. Then they started building a long-term big niche in the gym niche, which is Gymshark as we know, and now the business is worth £10 million. So that is the reason. And look, They've been doing that now for like 7 years, and they're now building gyms around the world. So not just doing gym clothing, they're actually building gyms across the world, which is crazy. So this is why you do not want to get trapped, and this is what gurus do as well. Gurus and massive leaders do what I'm telling you now. They don't get trapped in the dropshipping business model. They think about long-term business models within e-commerce and using the dropshipping business model. So guys, that is literally what you're going to want to do. Those 3 points that I mentioned. Number one, use WooCommerce instead of Shopify when you're scaling and you're doing around about 50k a month, maybe more. Number two, which is selling your store once you've scaled it and you've peaked and you can start to see it slowly down peak, sell it then, and then you're going to make a lot more money. And number three, reinvest all the profits and how much you get for selling your store or how much you get whilst you're running the ads. Reinvest that money into a long-term brand. So whatever niche that you like the most, go into it. Obviously do your research before you go into it. I'll leave a link here to the best niches you can get into in 2019, and that's what you're going to want to do, and that's what I teach my students to do, and that's how I work with clients, and that's how I get them to make a lot more money. Now that is it for today's video. If you appreciate the content and you like what I've talked about today, please hit the like button. It just helps me get seen by more people, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.